feels like a pretty underwhelming combine this year. So what is the number one story at the NFL Combine this week?
Well, I think it's the NFL players, and I think it's the NFL quarterbacks.
Which these guys are not yet.
No, I think it's just not this group. This is kind of a struggle bus draft because the drafts are as powerful, I think, as your star quarterbacks. They don't have any. And even your star skill guys, last year, Jamar Chase, Waddle, and Devontae Smith just won the Heisman. I mean, it's hard to.
We've had back-to-back drafts now of just stacked receiver classes.
Yeah, I actually think we'll get that the following year. You give me C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, right? Boom, boom. Will Anderson. You just damn.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Caleb Williams probably not eligible because he was a true freshman.
Yeah, he's a sophomore this year. True sophomore.
Who's that guy you just said?
The other receiver from Ohio State. Actually, this receiver class is not. This receiver class is actually kind of interesting. The Ohio Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Drake Jackson, Eric Ezekama.
They got a dude from Arkansas who's sweet. I think he's pretty good. I forget his name, but he's a baller. I just think it's the quarterbacks, and I think it starts to me with. I guess we'll find out more potentially. Is Aaron Rodgers going to keep doing his offseason hits with it, Pat McAfee? If he does, I mean,
Tuesday's supposed to. Well, Benjamin Albright tweeted just kind of under the radar, maybe not under the radar. I don't know. On Saturday, like Tuesday's going to be a big day for a McAfee show. So maybe he knows something's coming.
Yeah, and then Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and obviously Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, I just think we're going to find out in the next, 15 days, I'd say, of just kind of who's going where potentially. And some of these guys might stay. We'll see. You were around Russell Wilson on Saturday.
I did see Russ at the Stanford women's basketball game on Saturday. Yeah, he was on the mic, actually. He was doing a pump-up speech to the Stanford women's team. His sister plays for the team. And it was her senior day. It's her third senior day, actually. And 6-year senior. And Russ has been to all of them.
She get hurt?
No, she had some injuries previously, but then, 5th-year senior, get the free year, 6-year senior.
Good player.
So, yeah, it was the defensive player of the year last year in the league. They won the national title. So Russ is there, and he was wearing this red sweatsuit with his RW logo on it, and he was wearing the red patent leather Jordans, and they had a family member speak for each senior. So I was just about to walk out of the building, and there's Russ on the mic talking about, you guys are winners. His sister, he's like, you're the best winner I know. Coach Tara, you are the best winner in the history of it all. And each and every one of you, whatever you've done is in the past. It's time to go win a national championship. And the place starts going nuts. Russ was loving it. Russ just felt kind of happy, enjoying himself, doing little pump-up championship speeches. So
has Tara won as many natties as like Pat Summitt and Gino? Because Gino's won like 50.
I got to check on what her natty number is. She's the winningest coach, period, ever. She's won the Coach of the Year award in the league 16 times.
How long has she been there?
I mean, she's won 25 conference championships.
Jesus. So. I guess you're getting pretty good at Palo Alto. Why would you leave?
They just won the league with an undefeated record for the 8th time. No one's ever done it once.
That's pretty nuts.
So, anyway.
It's just quarterbacks. I mean, to me, this is going to come out by the end of the week and early next week. We might have enough juice to do a Sunday podcast next week. Of just shit.
But is Aaron staying put? Does Denver need a quarterback? Is Russ staying put? That means that probably nothing. Things might not change because, where would Russ go? The New York Giants. Well, if they don't get Russ, there's not going to be a domino potentially on Russ like there would be on Aaron.
I think the Eagles would really like Russell Wilson, but it's not a domino.
But I'm saying, but that's another one. That's a good point. But what now? Maybe the Eagles would trade for Deshaun. Otherwise, they might, right?
I couldn't trade for Deshaun until it goes away, but it's clearly not going to go away before that. You got to trade for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they got to trade for him. I mean, it's February 28th. I mean, March 1st tomorrow. They got 2 weeks and 3 days. The chances of all of a sudden in the next 2.5 weeks is going to be like, Deshaun's clear of everything. Does not feel likely because that's just not the way shit works.
Right. And so other teams are not going to wait. They're going to have to make decisions.
You could argue there's a chance that he's not traded at the beginning of the league year because teams are like, we can't do it yet. And so if you're Texans, what's your rush?
But to me, then it makes sense then if you're Philly to just kind of wait and wait and wait. So they don't.
Yeah, in Philly, you're in no rush.
They don't do something else. And really, the Giants are in the same boat. And really, Miami's in the same boat now.
You see today they didn't pick up Daniel Jones' 5th-year option, which no shit.
Yeah.
But it just shows they ain't tied to him. Obviously, they got new people.
The Jimmy trade feels like it's coming. I saw Kawakami wrote that a league source told him the talk that kind of he thought might heat up this week hasn't happened yet, but it'll start this week, and then maybe by end of next week is when he expects the deal to be done on Jimmy.
Well, Kyle's not talking this week. Sean McVay's not going. Schrager tweeted out that he knows several coaches that aren't going. I would imagine
I think he said two others that he knows aren't going.
I think there's a decent chance Kyle Shanahan is not going, which to me doesn't matter at all. Like Jimmy Garoppolo's trade is going to be that's not Kyle's job. Like ultimately that's Parag. That's why you send Parag and John to the combine to figure that out. And they got a lot of work to do. They got to sign corners, offensive linemen. Laken Tomlinson is going to get like $10 million a year. Because the one thing I was talking to a friend is like, if you do hit free agency, it's the best thing that can ever happen if you're just a solid starter. Because if you're like a $4 million player, well, if you hit free agency, at minimum, you double your salary. Because there just aren't that many guys that hit free agency. The best players never hit free agency. And you get overpaid. And look at the teams that are like, what are the Jags? They need offensive linemen. The Jets. You see some of the teams that have money, it's all the shitty teams. And usually they overpay offensive linemen. So, it's just this week really is an information gathering of how much these players are going to cost. Like, okay, I'm interested in Stephon Gilmore. Hey, we want to sign you, Stephon, to be the quarterback or to be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. What's your rate? And then he asks out, like his people have to figure out like how many people want me? What can I get that number to? So you kind of figure out like where the other thing start here.
Who's waiting for who? Is he waiting on J.C. Jackson or is J.C. Jackson waiting on him? J.C. Jackson's probably going to try and wait on him, right?
But J.C. Jackson's younger. I mean, Gilmore.
That's what I'm saying.
J.C. last money.
Yeah, but I'm saying J.C. is going to get more. J.C. Jackson's going to get more than Stephon Gilmore.
Longer contract, I would guess.
Because he's younger.
Gilmore's pretty fucking good when he's healthy, though.
I mean, the Niners might are they going to pay Ryan Jensen? They might need a center.
We got to draft some internal.
Well, I understand, but you're not going to put a rookie center in front of Trey Lance, are you? I mean, I would have loved Creed Humphrey would have been good, but
Tampa Bay just going to lose all their players. Ali Marpet's like, I'm out.
Ali Marpet retired. He's 16 years younger than Tom. He's like, I can't play without Tom. I've seen how good
the Bucs are going to lose Ali Marpet, Ryan Jensen, and Tom Brady. Like those guys are good. I mean, Ali Marpet's a stud guard, Jensen's a stud center, and you lose Tom fucking Brady, and Godwin is a free agent. Maybe Tom is bouncing because he's like, this team's. Ali's like, hey Tom, man, I'm just over it. I'm smart. I went to Hogarth, whatever school he went to, I've never heard of.
Maybe he'll come out of retirement for Tom. Maybe the Niners are holding off for Tom's offensive lineman. Because Ryan Jensen,
like, you just taking all my players.
Ryan
Jensen's going to be expensive, guy.
Well, I understand. He's going to be 13. I mean, yeah.
Well, look what the Chargers last year.
Oh, by the way, their right guard is a free agent too. Alex Kappa.
Signed the free agent from what the fuck's his name? Ryan Lindley.
Who's that?
Corey Lindsley contract. Whatever he got, because the Chargers signed him last year away from the Packers.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money.
And I'm sorry, what were you saying? You're just saying.
My point is Lindsley got 5 years, $62.5 million.
You making a Laken Tomlinson point?
I'm making a Ryan Jensen point. Oh. I have to text my buddies. I haven't done the O-line scouting. But like Lindsley's deal, now here's the thing. 17 fully guaranteed, so it's not that crazy, right? Would you say if Ryan Jensen, I'd have to, again, I haven't studied him, but like I'd feel pretty good about giving a starting center who's a high-level guy $19 million fully guaranteed. Like, that's not very much money. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
But think of all the shitty teams, guy. The Giants, the Jags, all these teams are going to try to sign this guy.
I know.
I think the Jags are going to try to sign offensive linemen for a lot of money.
As they should.
But you can't be bidding against the Jags for centers.
I know. Anyway, but to your point on quarterbacking, the first domino potentially comes Tuesday, depending on what Rodgers does. And Rodgers staying put in some hand for the Packers, on some hand would be good for the Niners. Well, obviously be bad for them if he Like they'd rather him be the quarterback of the Broncos than the Packers. Just from a competitiveness standpoint, from entertainment standpoint, I'd rather him be the quarterback of the Packers. But if he stays put, then I think Denver would be on the Niners list as teams that then would potentially be interested in Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's crazy NFL contracts. Lindley, you're like, you gave him $62 million. And you're just like, well, actually just $13 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
Centers get really screwed.
Well, what did Alex Mack make last year? Like maybe 5 total, but yeah.
But like, think about the difference between the center now
and the tackle.
Obviously, Trent Williams is, I don't know who the best center in the league is, but he got 60 guaranteed. 60. That's what Amari Cooper got.
I watched Blinds, like the first, 45 minutes of Blindside this weekend it was on. And I'd forgotten the way it opens. It opens with Joe Theismann's injury, and it's like the number one, the highest paid player is the center. And the most important guy after that is the guy protecting his blind side. And it's got all these like clips of
highest paid player is a center.
Sorry, the quarterback. I was thinking I had centers on my mind. And the most important guy is the guy protecting his blind side. But like the center's in charge of a lot.
Yeah.
And for me with a rookie quarterback, or not a rookie, Trey's not a rookie, but that would be a play. But he kind of is. Yeah. I don't know if you can go cheap there, but anyway, let the dominoes fall where they may.
But you can't pay everybody, right?
No, but that's just part of trading Jimmy Garoppolo. That is money that have available. The other thing, did you see the Packers are going to the UK? I think it's a Packer home game also, which is kind of crazy. So they made this graphic on the Packers Twitter page going to London. They put them in Abbey Road there in the crosswalk, like the Beatles. There's only 4 of them. They put 5 guys.
That feels like a pretty good London team because they usually send like the Jags, the Dolphins. That feels like the best London team ever. I don't know, right?
Well, it depends. Are they banking on if Aaron's their quarterback? It's the best London team ever.
Yeah, it feels like the London games are consistently terrible.
No Rodgers and no Devontae in this graphic.
I mean, they're both
staff. Aaron's under contract.
I don't think you want to piss him off though. You don't want to force him into anything. Like